Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Well, it's Monday.
It is Monday. It's one of my favorite days of the week because it's Movie Star Monday. Today, I'm going to be visiting with Madeline Carroll. I just love her. I think she's awesome.
She's adorable.
She's the same age as our son.
Yes.
And last time I talked to her, I let her know that our son was single.
Yes, you did, and I'm sure our son would be thrilled.
If he knew that, he would probably string me up. So she's in the movie I Can Only Imagine, and that movie comes out on DVD tomorrow. But she's also in a really cool movie called Flipped, which is from like 10 years ago. But we just watched that, so I'm going to have to let her know about that, that we watched it. So we'll be chatting with Madeline Carroll for Movie Star Monday coming up in a bit. It says here for our quote of the day from Benjamin Disraeli, action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action.
That's
I agree.
true.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think is interesting, there's some people who like to complain that there's nothing to do. If you would do something, you'd have nothing to complain about. So, like, you know, instead of complaining, go do something. Mm-hmm. Come up with something to do. Stick around. We got a lot of great stuff to do. It's all on the way on this Movie Star Monday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 11th day of June. It is National Making Life Beautiful Day. And for my beautiful bride over here, every day is Making Life Beautiful Day. You're always beautiful.
Oh.
You don't even need to wear makeup and you're beautiful.
I completely disagree. But
Do you
thank
have makeup
for
on
that.
right now?
Just a little.
Yeah, not much, but you look darn good. National Corn on the Cob Day today. Do you like corn on the cob?
I love corn on the cob.
I like it better off the cob. I mean, I chew it right off the cob, then it's good. But I'm not going to leave it. I'm not going to eat the whole cob.
No, who eats
So
the
it's-
cob?
Really, wouldn't it be corn off the cob?
No,
day?
because you're eating. Because would you prefer it like on
Saw
a
it off
plate
and, like,
instead of on the cob?
I don't know.
Because I like to eat it off of the cob.
Probably. I don't know. The other's probably easier. And my sister will like this. National German Chocolate Cake Day. That's like
she
her favorite cake.
loves German chocolate cake.
When I was a kid, my mother made that a lot, and I don't want to say that I don't like it because I do like it. But have you noticed I don't eat a lot of cake?
You don't know.
I don't
when
know why
I make
that
cake,
is. I
you
just
don't really eat cake.
we I don't know why I'm not a cake dude. Apparently, a lot of fun stuff to celebrate on this Monday, the 11th day of June.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, is it a prison or is it a vineyard? You ready for another action-packed episode, Heidi?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. I'm going to move this down here. I don't want you cheating.
I'm not gonna cheat.
Block my screen
I don't
so she
cheat.
can't see. You can always follow along with these, by the way, in our show notes page at johnandheidishow.com. All right, Sugar House in Salt Lake City, Utah. Is the Sugar House a prison or is the Sugar House a vineyard?
The Sugar House. I'm going to say prison.
It is a prison. Isn't that a crazy name for a prison?
It is.
Going down to the Sugar House. Did some hard time with the Sugar House. Okay, how about Spring Valley, Walla Walla, Washington? Spring Valley, is that a place to go for a drink or is that a place to go if you get in trouble?
I'm going to say that's a vineyard.
It is a vineyard. Good job, Heidi. So you got both of them correct today. So Sugar House is a prison. Spring Valley is indeed a vineyard. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. A man from Key West, Florida, who makes his living parking cars, is now accused of drunkenly stealing a Mercedes-Benz from an impound lot early Friday morning. 48-year-old Kevin Jones, who is listed in jail records as a valet, was arrested for felony burglary, grand theft auto, and criminal damage of over $1,000, along with misdemeanor DUI. He reportedly took a cab to Arnold's Towing on Stock Island, stiffed the driver, then jumped the fence to get into an impounded Mercedes-Benz, which had been towed recently for being parked illegally. Police say Jones then drove the silver Mercedes-Benz through the lot's locked gate, ramming through it, then headed north on US 1. This all happened Friday. Jones was locked up at the Stock Island Detention Center without bond. So, bad idea. I think it was last Friday, a week ago. Because I think I've had this longer than a couple of days. So, yeah, that's too bad. It's a bad idea. It doesn't say what year the Mercedes was, but either way, you don't steal a car and do all that, especially when you're drunk. That's a bad idea.
Wow.
But this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, there's a new movie coming out called Ocean's 8. Now, there was Ocean's 11, then Ocean's 12.
Yeah,
and
I don't understand the order.
Why are we going backwards?
I don't know.
It all has to do with the number of people. So there were that many people. So Ocean's 8, the reviews are out for it. I've got a link to all of that. Sad news from last week, by the way. The Wizard of Oz. I always liked The Wizard of Oz. The oldest living munchkin from The Wizard of Oz passed away last week at the age of 98. It was Jerry Marin. He was in a nursing care facility, suffered from dementia. I've got a link to the story about... That was a fascinating movie, and just so many different things that came together.
I never liked The Wizard of Oz. I know that's going to be a very unpopular opinion.
There are a lot of people who love it. I always have.
Did not like that film.
Always thought it was kind of cool. Film mogul Ron Meyer is selling his Malibu mansion for $125 million. So we should check into that.
We really should.
Maybe he could...
Maybe we could buy the neighbor's house, too.
Knock $124.5 million off and then finance the rest. No? Not going to happen? All right. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. The organization that makes all of our favorite emojis released 157 new emojis last week. I've had the story for a while, and I've almost just deleted it because I'm not into this, but I do know there are some people that are into this kind of thing. So this is for you, not for me. Cupcakes, superheroes, lobsters, goggles, a raccoon.
Why would you need these things?
Hippopotamus.
So stupid.
A brick, DNA, safety pin, roll of toilet paper, and more. Companies like Apple and Google tend to have their own schedule for making new emojis available to the public, with most likely to support these new emojis by the end of the year. So they're all out, but they might not all be available on your platform yet. So there's a company that does this. Can you imagine that being your company? What do? We make emojis.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Oh, yeah. One of the most popular emojis is a little pile of poo. I still don't understand that.
They make pillows and everything.
I saw that. And there was like a sticker. And I saw a kid with that on her shirt. I was like, why are you walking around? Why would you want that on a shirt? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. This is maybe a sign that I'm getting old. Wall Street. No, actually, it's 247 Wall Street. They rank cities, and their latest list to rank, it says the latest list is sure to upset the residents of Detroit, which has been named the worst city in which to live. 247 Wall Street created an index. It measures 8 categories: crime, economy, education, environment, health, housing, infrastructure, and leisure. And Detroit did not do well in any of those.
Does that surprise anyone?
No, I know they've got some work to do, but,
they have more than some work to do.
Sweep up some stuff and, put some things back together. It's going to be okay. It's not a classic first word, but last week there was a story about the first word from a baby. Do you know what your first word was?
I know what my first sentence was.
No, you're not going to say that because you can't say that on the radio, but sadly, this explains a lot about your upbringing. Do you know what your first word was? Was it like mama?
Probably mama, I would assume.
For a lot of kids, the first word is mama.
Yeah.
How about Alexa?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Seriously. It's not the classic first word, but a 1-year-old named Joe Brady, a British baby, was trying to activate the virtual assistant and said, Alexa. That was the baby's first word. Parents admit they use that. I'm going to quit saying it because I was talking to somebody who we had a story on where we mentioned it several, and it kept going off. So I'm going to quit saying that device's name. But they say they use that device a lot, and they say apparently we use it enough that it didn't surprise us that the first word that our child would say would be her name. So there you go.
That's really sad.
There's a study now that found taking a daily brisk walk could extend your life expectancy for men over the age of 75. So if you're over the age of 75 and you happen to be a male, maybe you should go for a brisk walk.
Any age, a nice brisk walk is good for you.
We should go for a brisk walk more often.
We should.
We don't go for walks, period, but I can't think of the last time we went for a brisk walk.
I know, we should.
What is a brisk walk anyway?
A quick, fast walk.
So it's not leisure. It's just walking a little faster.
Fast.
So it's like a short, less than you're not running though, right?
You're not running.
You're not jogging.
You're just walking to get
briskly. Okay, I might do that. Study by the University of Arizona found that some ants, like the little critters, those little bugs, some ants are lazy by design.
Really?
Yeah. So not all worker ants. There are apparently some lazy ants as well. You just don't see them because they're hanging out inside the anthill like playing video games or something.
We should go back to the brisk walk. Pretty much any walk you take with our son.
Yeah.
That's a brisk walk.
Our son is 6'3" and his legs are like 12 feet long. Okay, maybe not that long, but he's all legs. And when you walk, he is taking a leisure stroll, and I have to run next to him to keep up with him. So, yeah, anytime I've gone with him, I guess I've been on a brisk walk. This has been your Scoop of the Day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It's another Movie Star Monday, and we are super excited to have Madeline Carroll joining us again. Madeline was on with us right before the movie I Can Only Imagine hit theaters. I think it might have been the Monday before, and we're super excited to have you back because tomorrow the Blu-ray combo and DVD comes out from Lionsgate, and when we talked last time, I was predicting this movie was going to do well. It did okay, didn't it, Madeline?
Sure did.
It did really
well. So much for having me back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how crazy! It sure did do good, didn't it? It's crazy how well it did. I mean, we all kind of knew it was going to do good amongst faith people. We never dreamed it was going to do that well, though. My goodness.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic, and it's an amazing movie. It's the #1 inspirational movie of the year, and it's out on DVD right now. We're going to come back to I Can Only Imagine in a moment, but I just want to say, when we talked last time, you were telling me about some of the other movies that you were in, and I've seen you in Swing Vote, which I loved, and I'm looking at the list of people you've had a chance to work with. Kevin Costner, Kelsey Grammer, Dennis Hopper. That's all just in the one movie, Swing Vote. Spy Next Door, you work with Jackie Chan. Flipped, that's a movie I'm going to talk a little more about because I hadn't seen it until this week, but you worked with Anthony Edwards, John Mahoney, who was Frasier's dad on Frasier, Aidan Quinn, and then Mr. Popper's Penguins. You worked with Jim Carrey, and then you've got I Can Only Imagine, Dennis Quaid, Trace Adkins, Cloris Leachman. You got a movie that's coming out soon where you play Lily Davis in Destined to Ride, Denise Richards, Joey Lawrence. All these names are huge names. What is it like to get a chance to work with all of these people and be a co-star in a movie with these legends in Hollywood?
Oh, unreal. I'm totally unreal. I think I appreciate it all a lot more now that I'm older than I did when I was younger. But my goodness, right out the gate when I did Swing Vote, I mean, the people I got to work with in that film, Dennis Hopper right before he passed, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. And that was my first ever lead role, so I really just stepped into this really big pool very quickly, and I loved it. I've been so fortunate, to be able to work with such wonderful people. I know there's a lot, about Hollywood being so crazy and everything right now, but and people having really hard times working with others. And I just have to say, I've gotten to work with some of the kindest people in Hollywood. Kevin Costner, literally, when I did Swing Vote, he paid for me to come on the press tour himself out of his own pocket, paid for me to come along with him and do all the press and everything. It was crazy, just unreal, beautiful, wonderful people. And leading up to Dennis, it was just crazy, unreal. I've had a beautiful time with everyone that I've gotten to work with so far, and I do appreciate it a lot more now, though, that I'm older. I kind of try and cherish it a lot more. Like when I worked with Clora in this movie, I just loved to pick her brain and ask her questions, and it was so funny. I was asking her how she felt when she won the Oscar, and it was just so cute. I wish I would have had it on video. She was like, I never dreamed I was going to win it because the other girl had, whoever was nominated with her, had took over every award show, and then they called my name at the Oscars, and I thought it was a mistake. And I just appreciate it all so much more now. I'm just asking questions and learning and everything. It's just been unreal.
Well, I think it's really cool that you had the opportunity to work with all those amazing people. And here's the thing that's really neat. There are young women right now that are watching the movies that you're in that are just as excited to see you grow in your career. And someday they're going to hopefully get a chance to work with you, and you get to pass that on like Cloris Leachman did for you.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be crazy. I would literally love that. That would be unreal to get to a place like that.
Now, the movie I Can Only Imagine was in theaters earlier this year, and it did so well. Now, it's based on the story of the song I Can Only Imagine, who many people listening probably have heard the song before. And in the past, maybe you didn't know the story of where the song came from, but this movie tells the tale of where it comes from. In the movie, you got to be the girlfriend of Bart, the character that wrote the song. So in the movie, I Can Only Imagine, your character Shannon is now Bart's wife as well. What was it like, and did you get a chance to meet the real Shannon? And what was that like to play somebody that's a real person instead of just a character that's made up?
Oh, it was so crazy. I did get a chance to meet her, and now we've become friends, and she's just the most loveliest woman ever. But I actually didn't meet her before filming. I had met her, so it was all done and ready to go by the time I met her at the premiere, and so I was really nervous that she wasn't going to like it. And it was so cool because at the premiere I ended up getting to share my testimony, and when I was done, she came backstage and she was crying, and I was crying, and she was like, "Now I know why God had you play me," and it was really cool to just get to bond with her. But I wish it would have been able to happen sooner, but she's just such a wonderful woman. I got to see them at the K-Love Awards. We won the K-Love Award for Film of the Year, which was so cool just a few days ago, and that was awesome. And yeah, their whole family is just wonderful.
Well, I think it's just an inspiring story when you get a chance to watch the movie. It's a true story that when you watch it, you just think how crazy that all of this came together the way that it did, and it's an amazing story that had to be told. So thank you for playing the part of Shannon, so we all had a chance to learn that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really special story, and it's perfect. The release, I think, is so awesome how timely it is with Father's Day, because it deals with a lot of fathers. Issues, and I think that's really special, and I think it would be a really great Father's Day gift for your dad, and just to sit and watch together. But it's just such a blessed movie, and we've just seen so many lives changed with it. It's just been the gift that keeps on giving. It just seems like this movie just keeps going and keeps blessing people in new ways, and blessing me, I know that for sure, in new ways, and just has so much life to it. And I feel like no matter what else I do from here on out, somehow, some way, I'm always going to end up talking about I Can Only Imagine, just because of what the Lord did for me, and the way that this movie went is just crazy.
Well, and I can tell you, I know some people whose lives have been changed. There's a young man that's in a life group with me at our church, and because of this movie, he reached out to his father. They had kind of an estranged relationship, and now their relationship has been repaired, and a lot of it has to do with, he watched this movie and said, "Why haven't I reached out to my father?" And he did it, and it's unbelievable the difference it's made in his life. So, again, impacting lives in a very positive way. That is such a cool thing.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, that's unreal. It's crazy how it's done that. And a lot of the questions that we got it. How do you explain it? How do you explain it? And they're like, you don't have an explanation other than the Lord showed up, and he's continued to show up in every single theater that the movie played.
Well, the amazing thing to me, this was in theaters the same time as Black Panther, and Black Panther was the #1 movie the week you came out. It was on 3 times as many screens. You guys were number 3, and you were on 1/3 the number of screens, and I think every theater was full with people standing in the hall looking in the windows. I don't know how you did that. It was amazing.
It's crazy. I can't even believe it. We were hearing stories of people. This one guy put on Twitter that he drove 100 miles with his family to go see the movie opening night. 100 miles.
That's awesome. Again, our guest today, Madeline Carroll, and the movie is called I Can Only Imagine. It's out now, actually starting tomorrow on DVD and Blu-ray from Lionsgate, and I'm going to throw a link online to make it really easy to find. But before I let you go, I got to mention one thing, and I told you a little bit about this before I went on the air. We talked last time, and you were telling me about the movie Flipped, and I hadn't seen that until about just a few days ago. My wife and I watched it. It is an amazing movie. I don't know how that slipped past me, and I didn't see it before. But it's from 2010, so it's from 8 years ago, and you were just a kid. How old were you then? Because you're like 22 now, so you're like 12 or 13?
I was 13, yeah. I was 13 years old.
And in that movie, you're in there with Aidan Quinn and Anthony Edwards and John Mahoney, who recently passed away, and it's just such a great movie. I love that whole story, and you were telling me that it just went to theaters in another country just recently?
Just recently, yeah. It got released earlier this year in South Korea.
How crazy is that?
I know. It's just unreal. That movie has just had such a life after its initial release. It just keeps going. But it's such a special story, and I wish that it would have did better at the time it came out, just especially for Rob Reiner, because he put so much into it. He got the idea for that movie because his son got assigned that book in school, and he was in middle school, and he would come in and read it with him. And he was like, this would be such a good idea for a movie, and that's how he got the idea to make Flipped.
No, it was a great movie, and your character was just so awesome in that movie and so relatable. So, again, thank you for doing what you do to pour so much into each character, and I'm amazed at some of the talented people you've had a chance to work with, but it doesn't surprise me because you're very talented as well, and someday there are going to be people saying, I had a chance to be in a movie with Madeline Carroll.
Thank you so much. What an honor and blessing that would be.
Well, again, the movie is called I Can Only Imagine. It's out right now, starting tomorrow on DVD and Blu-ray from Lionsgate. We're going to throw a link in our show notes to make it really easy to find, and that's at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to this, a number of U.S. states claim test scores in their elementary schools are above the national average. 50. All 50 U.S. states claim their test scores are above the national average. So how is that possible?
Yeah, if they're all above the national average, wouldn't that be the national average?
That would just mean the national average is higher, apparently. Yeah. That's something I've never understood. And I don't know. And I got a fun fact here that I had never heard of before. KFC. I'm sorry. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
KFC. What does that stand for? Do you know?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah. They're testing a vegetarian fried chicken in the United Kingdom that's aimed at healthy eaters.
Yuck.
Wait a minute. Vegetarian chicken? How does that work?
First of all, the word fried is in there. That's not for healthy eaters.
Apparently they're trying to appeal, so we're trying to appeal to a new market. So there you go. I don't know if it's going to work, but this has been a couple of fun facts courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day for this Monday. The word is fisticuffs. You ever heard that word?
I have heard it, and I don't know what it means.
You don't know what it means? Fisticuffs. 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 It is fighting with the fists. So fisticuffs would literally mean to like box, to get in a fight.
That makes sense, I guess.
Bare knuckle fist fighting. We just talked about how that was made legal, like the pay-per-view of that, whatever, was made legal. So fisticuffs, used in a sentence. Oh boy, this is so dumb. The Sazold Gonzogler challenged the Son Galabout to fisticuffs. Yeah, I'm going to steer clear of the sentences from now on. You ever notice that always goes downhill when I try to read their sentence?
Somebody the other day, speaking of fighting, said that they felt like dueling was still legal in a couple of states. That
shooting
can't
guns at each other?
possibly be.
You mean like shooting
accurate.
each other with guns?
Yes, being in a duel, to shoot each other.
I read somewhere that it was legal as long as you were both blood donors, but I don't know if that's still the case.
I don't believe so.
I'm not going to
There's no way it would be okay to just say, okay, walk off 10 spaces, and if a cop saw that, they'd allow you to carry on.
Not spaces, but
sorry, paces. There's no way that a cop would just stand there and be like, it's legal, so go ahead, shoot at each other.
You guys good shot?
There's no way.
Probably not. I don't think so. I'm not going to find out. This has been your grandiloquent word of the day, way back when we were still talking about that, and it was fisticuffs. That's the grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Time now for some weird news on a Monday. Police in New Jersey searching for a suspect car burglar who left something behind. The crook was caught on camera defecating in the driveway.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Black and white video posted by the local police department's Facebook page. Hoodie-wearing man can be seen taking off his jacket and his backpack before the clip ends abruptly. They said, we edited the video because it was graphic, but you get the picture. Police say the same man was spotted on other cameras in the neighborhood, successfully burglarizing different cars at different locations. He's also suspected of attempting to burglarize several other vehicles on the same street. The police department is asking for the public to give any tips that we might have to help them crack this case. I got crack in there.
That's lovely.
Because he, defecated on the driveway.
I get it. That was awesome.
They typed it. I just read it. That's why I laughed. I thought that was kind of funny. This has been your weird news. I've got a link to that story. I know there's people out there just, chomping at the bit to see that. It's in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. A woman in China was stopped by police after being spotted driving on the highway in a slow-moving pink bumper car.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, footage recorded on a highway in China shows a woman driving a pink bumper car down a busy roadway while full-size vehicles are speeding past her. The woman was stopped by police and given a warning. Police say they confiscated the bumper car from the woman, who operates a bumper car business in the city. I think that's kind of sad.
I didn't even think that those things worked off.
Apparently,
of the tracks.
Hers does. A lot of them are electric powered,
right?
And then that pole goes up. Yeah, it touches the top. Yeah. That's what powers it. So, I don't know. Apparently, she somehow retrofitted this one to drive down highways.
Interesting.
I kind of want one now. Wouldn't that be fun? We could have a John and Heidi show bumper car.
That would be amazing.
Drive that through parades and stuff. Yeah, probably not. This has been your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi has to discern whether this is a true story that happened in the great state of Florida or if it's just a bunch of flubbery, if it's fake news, if we made it up to try to fool her.
Okay.
I've got some people helping me now, by the way.
All right, good.
So some of these fake news stories are way better than they were when I was making them up. Mine were never good, and you always guessed them right away. So let's see if we can get you here. Let's see. How about this one? Fake news or Florida? A man was arrested for publicly shouting how bad Florida is. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
No, that's a Florida story.
Oh.
He was arrested for publicly shouting about how bad the great state of Florida is in the state of Florida.
That's kind of a lame one.
Well, it's a true story.
Well, that's lame.
How about this one? Fake news or Florida? A Florida Boy Scout troop woke up at their camp to find that they were surrounded by alligators. Fake news or Florida?
I can see that happening in Florida.
So you think it's
Florida.
fake news? You think it's Florida? That is fake news. You got both of them wrong today. Thank you, by the way, to everybody that's helping, because I have been struggling to stump Heidi. I don't think I've gotten you off track once in the last 3 weeks.
That first one was lame. It sounded like something you would write. That's why I said fake news.
Thank you so much. That was my plan, to throw you off with a lame true story. This has been Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That's the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. Here's a story. Take a listen to this. Janitors are becoming millionaires thanks to this stock's 9,500% rally. How crazy is this?
Okay.
Can you imagine a stock bouncing back by that much?
That's crazy.
Wang Weijian started his company in 1984. He was a factory worker with a high school education and $10,000 in borrowed money. Now the company's rise to wealth likely has made millionaires out of janitors, cafeteria workers, and laborers.
Nice.
The company is called Sunny Optical Technology, and they make lenses. During their humble beginnings, he offered stakes in the company to every single one of his employees, even the cleaning staff. He then organized the holdings into a trust with roughly 400 holders who currently own 35% of his company. With the ever-growing demand for lenses in smartphones and tablets and cameras, the company is now worth $22 billion.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So again, he started out with $10,000 in borrowed money.
Wow.
Company shares have surged by 9,500% since June of 2008 alone.
That is amazing.
Which is
Good
even
for
more
him.
than Netflix. Their impressive rise was 7,500%. These guys
Wow.
are 9,500%.
Good for them.
It's unknown as to how many shares are owned by each employee. Bloomberg's data suggests the average share for each member in the employee trust amounts to about $16 million per person.
Whoa.
Owning just 0.013% of the company would still equate to about $1 million. He retired as his role as CEO in 2012, but the book that he published on Sunny Optical's illustrious career sums it up quite nicely. He says, "When money gathers, people will be apart. When money is scattered, people will gather." I like that. That's nice.
Wow.
What a great story. And I've got a link to that if you want to read all about it. And that is in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. We always love to wrap up with good news because it's the greatest way to end this program. So thank you for being here till the very end.